AudioStack. Welcome to AudioStack's Parrot Podcast, the AI podcast from AudioStack, the world's leading infrastructure solution for fully automated, scalable AI audio production. I am Katharina Zeschke, an independent audio expert and consultant for audio marketing and new audio, and as well the author of the AudioStack white paper, AI in the Audio Industry. And that's exactly what this podcast is all about. We provide in-depth information about the use of artificial intelligence in the audio industry. We have invited some interesting interview partners, and AudioStack wouldn't be a provider of fully automated AI productions if this podcast wasn't produced with AI. So even though you're listening to me, Katharina Zeschke, we produced this podcast with my voice clone. But now have fun. Today we are taking a closer look at the first chapter of our white paper, AI in the Audio Industry, which looks at how artificial intelligence is being used to process and create audio content. A brief introduction to this chapter is the executive summary of the white paper. Artificial intelligence is the technology that enables us to produce, process, and edit audio content. We have taken a closer look at a range of tools that cover a broad spectrum, from noise reduction to complex composition processes. The GPT-4 AI model, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is an example of what is probably the best-known tool. Generative here means that the model is able to generate content on its own, rather than relying on predefined answers. It is trained on large amounts of text, learning language, grammar, and sentence structure before being fine-tuned for specific tasks. Through machine learning and the ability to distinguish important information from unimportant information, GPT-4 can produce human-like text and handle complex tasks. This model can be applied to a wide range of audio applications. GPT-4 can convert audio files to text, which is particularly useful when creating transcripts for videos and podcasts. It helps to identify relevant parts of audio files and suggest improvements to optimize the clarity and structure of the content. GPT-4 can generate natural and fluent text that can be converted to speech, making text-to-speech applications sound more realistic. GPT-4 can quickly create scripts for audio content based on keywords or existing content. GPT-4 can generate content based on listener preferences and interests, and the model can assist in writing lyrics and composing melodies. Tools such as Adobe Podcast and Castmagic use AI for transcription, while Castmagic also prepares content for social media and blogs. Storyflash automates the creation of podcasts from text, and AudioStack offers a complete production infrastructure for audio content. Today, we have Niklas Volland from bytabo as our expert and interview guest. Niklas not only helped to write this chapter in our white paper, but is also a passionate thought leader with a mission to help SMEs navigate the complexities of digitalization. Together with his co-founder Christian Schieber and a team of like-minded innovators, he founded bytabo during his studies in Bamberg, with a clear mission to bring people and technology into harmony. Welcome, Niklas. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, hi, I'm very excited too. Thanks for the invitation, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
bytabo stands for Innovative Solutions. Could you describe a specific scenario where AI tools could help a medium-sized company not just improve its audio products, but also transform its corporate culture?
Yes, I think what's generally important in times of change, and we are indeed in a time of immense change, is communication. What I always find very interesting and exciting here is an internal company podcast, just to inform employees about what is happening, where the company is headed, and the role of AI in the company. For planning processes, you can use ChatGPT to brainstorm questions, maybe even create a persona of your employees and work with this persona to develop target-specific questions. Of course, when it comes to audio, you could use 11 Labs, for example, to voice an intro. Maybe in between, to promote something like a summer festival, you could also use a virtual speaker. Or ultimately, which is also your area of expertise, work with voice clones. And this is something where I would say it makes a lot of sense because communication, innovative technologies, time savings, and in the end, taking people along, optimizing the culture and giving everyone a good feeling. So that would be, for example, a case that I find very, very good and that also brings joy, which we have already implemented several times with our clients.
That sounds super exciting. When you say you've already implemented this with clients, what have the specific experiences been like? Did the colleagues dare to speak in the podcast?
Yes, absolutely, definitely. What I've noticed is that it's always very, very important to create a good setting. So Usually we've done it in such a way that we have either 2 or 1 fixed host for the podcast. And then we also invited guests from various departments, or sometimes the executive management is there. And then just explaining to the guests what it's about, that they can also speak openly, that they have the opportunity to introduce themselves and share their perspectives. That works very well. And in the end, everyone actually always felt good about it, including the listeners. Because naturally, if you also make it somewhat entertaining and design the episodes to last 20 to 30 minutes, then we've really had very, very, very good experiences. Yes.
From my point of view, that's also good because the employees can consume it anywhere. For example, even on their way to work. That's really a very good idea. Niklas, you founded bytabo during your studies at a time when AI wasn't as widespread as it is today. How do you think the integration of AI tools in the training of future professionals, the media landscape, and digital transformation will influence?
Well, to add to the understanding, what we primarily do at bytabo today is to bring AI technologies, especially into medium-sized companies. These can be tools, but also custom-developed applications that we program for our clients. So we also have software and app developers and data scientists, and always really focus on human and tech. That means human and tech in AI, as we say in this context. That means we focus on taking people along. And in this context, we also have a very intensive insight into how AI is changing the work environment. And therefore, I think I can give a pretty good insight into the question. And personally, I believe, based on what I see in practice and also my discussions with many experts and experts like you, that AI will massively change and further develop the work environment in the future. So really massively. That means employees have to be open to engaging with these tools and technologies. Otherwise, it will simply be difficult. So this will become a quite standardized part of the work environment due to the massive efficiency gains that these technologies bring. In many places, we are even working in the Microsoft environment now. It's already there. And accordingly, I have to say that this will also play a very central role in the future education of professionals. And it is very important to bring this openness. So that's how I would answer it. Yes.
Yes, that's right. You just made a perfect link. Microsoft has also integrated AI. You recently hosted a series of webinars on Microsoft Copilot. What makes this AI unique in your view?
So I think, first of all, that it's available in an environment that almost every company, at least in our target group, which is medium-sized businesses, uses. So I would guess that probably 90 to 95% of the companies are in the Microsoft environment. So we have a well-available AI within the work environment that is used daily anyway. We also have a very multifaceted AI, which, for example, is available in Microsoft Teams, where I must say, also based on feedback from our customers, where it already works best, the transcription of Microsoft Teams meetings and even an automatically generated protocol, and even the tasks are automatically pulled out and logged. So you never have to have someone take notes during the Teams calls again, because the AI just does it by itself. Exactly. That's really cool. Then we have also, for example, in Microsoft Word, I have also had good experiences there for generating a draft of a document, also based on other documents. So that's also a quite essential function, that you can not only say, please generate a document on topic XY and then draw on generally available knowledge, but you can also say, please generate a concept paper based on this meeting protocol and this product roadmap, whatever. So really internal documents, and that's a game changer. And that works in Word quite well too. PowerPoint and Excel, I think, are good from a vision standpoint, that you can really, with a prompt, also based on a document, create a fully automated presentation, or in Excel, generate formulas automatically, create diagrams, and so on. All the various Excel functions, partly very complex functions, can be represented with a prompt. But my experience is not yet perfect, so we are still more in preview mode. So now and again, you can already use it, but it's really not yet, so that I would say you can really work strongly with it. But also that is probably only a question of weeks to months. And back to the question, you notice this variety makes it particularly special. On the one hand, the availability, and I think ultimately just the economic potential. If these AI systems work well everywhere, then there are efficiency gains that are incredible. So I would say these are the points that make this AI very unique in this context.
You can't just use the Copilot for the programs you just mentioned. I have tried PowerPoint extensively to have designs created. Then you can get some ideas. You can also use the Copilot to generate images. And there I am currently really enjoying myself because that's naturally a field where you really have to deal with licensing rights when you buy photos that you want to use for your documents. And now you can really create it yourself with the Copilot. How do you see this image creation tool within Copilot?
Yes, I find it very good and very helpful in general. It runs over DALL-E, I believe V3 by now. Very, very exciting in the Copilot. I actually use it primarily in ChatGPT, which is basically the same technology. You can now even edit images, so the images are not only generated, but then you can even, for example, mark an area in the image and say the panda should look happier, or whatever you have generated there works quite well. I tested it intensively recently. And yes, as you say, if you generally have to deal with the fact that you need professional images for your marketing campaign or generally for various communication processes, then that's a game changer. So you don't have to search the web for ages, but you can just generate your image. What is naturally important is to deal a bit with the topic of prompting, because a good image ultimately needs a good prompt, especially if it is very detailed. And now we have, if you look at other tools like Midjourney, I must honestly admit my favorite tool is still Midjourney in AI image generation. Exactly. We now have functions like character referencing, for example, the possibility to continuously maintain faces in different images, or we can use other images as a reference and then basically take over the style in newly generated images, which is super interesting for branding content. So you can see these tools are developing at an enormous speed, and I am a huge fan of it. I actually use Midjourney really daily and can only recommend to anyone who hasn't looked at it yet to delve a little deeper into it.
And to lose the shyness and really try it out. You can't do anything wrong in that sense, but you can only win, what you also said. So especially in companies, the employees, they should also dare. I think the Copilot is particularly well suited because it forms a protected environment. If I enter company data in ChatGPT, that's not a good idea. With Microsoft, you can do that because you have purchased individual licenses and nothing goes outside. So that's, I believe, a huge advantage, and that might also develop further. Is there an AI tool that particularly fascinates you right now? And can you give us a little insight into what the tool does exactly?
So what definitely brings great added value are tools that automate processes in the sense that they link various systems together. I mean, Zapier, which has been around longer and was known long before the ChatGPT hype. Another tool is Make.com. A bit more advanced still is Relevance AI. And what these tools do, they are not necessarily AI tools, although there is now also the possibility at Zapier, for example, to build such workflows via a prompt. But what makes the whole thing very exciting is if you then integrate ChatGPT, for example, into such a workflow, so that you can say, for example, let automatically generated content be published on your blog and do it regularly, fully automated, without having to do much about it. Theoretically all possible. And these tools I find very exciting because you can generate super efficient workflows there. I also have an acquaintance who does actually exclusively such process automations with such tools, and he says everything you see in the browser can be automated. And I find that really very, very exciting. We're doing that more and more for our customers here at bytabo. Sometimes it's also about custom development. So that goes beyond the possibilities of such a tool, where you say, okay, you also create an interface with it, and maybe still reference data from an ERP system, from a CRM system, all again in a protected context, in a data protection secure environment. But generally just the possibility to build such workflows, to integrate AI tools into it, and then generate massive time savings through it, is something I'm very busy with currently, and which fascinates me a lot.
Yes, I can understand that very well. Those were exciting insights. Thank you, Niklas. Hopefully we'll see and hear from each other again soon.
Thank you, Katarina. See you.
Listen to the next episode. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop us a line at audiostack.ai or leave a comment. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are available or directly at audiostack.ai. See you soon.